Hey guys, it's Drea. So today is my intro to my 2018 Makeup Use Up Project Pan project. Let me just preface this by saying the same thing I said last year. I am not a project panner. Last year was the first year I even attempted to pan things in my collection. It went better than I expected. I'm really glad I did it. I just did my finale to that, so you can go back and look at that if you're interested. But I'm very excited to have all new products to start using for this year. It's kind of an interesting thing because you get to the end of the year and you've used up so much stuff, and then picking new stuff is fun, but it's kind of daunting. You have to kind of remember that this is going to be for an entire year. So there is lots of time to get to all these products. But I've got a few different categories. There's like things I want to use up completely. There's things I just want to hit pan on or have goals for. And then there's just a couple things where I just want to use them more often and don't have a goal in mind. But this is everything that I really want to get to really using this year. The next time I do a Shop My Stash video, my drawers will look very different, and it's going to be weird for me because I'm so used to seeing certain things in there all the time. But let's just get into it. Let's just talk about right off the bat two things that I don't have any goals in mind for, but I just want to get more use out of. First one is this from Huda Beauty. This is one of the Lip Strobe lip glosses. I've talked about it a lot, how I really don't use lip gloss at all, like ever, and I should really stop buying it. But I do really like these lip strobes, and this one in particular is called Angelic. It's like a really light champagne-y, just kind of glossy lip, and by the way, these smell really nice. And I just feel like this is the kind of thing that I can keep in my drawer all the time, and I will just be able to get more use out of it than I would if I just kept it back there in my collection. So if you're unfamiliar with the way my room is set up, in front of me is a desk with the stuff I use on the daily, and then I switch it out with all the stuff back there in that drawer system back there, and I rotate my collection. But I really don't use that stuff until I pull it into my everyday stash, and sometimes that could be a long time. So it's good to have certain things in here all the time. By the way, this year I've got Finding Nemo stickers on all my makeup use up stuff. Last year was emoji stickers. I really wanted to use them again, and I could not find them. Okay, so next product, I really just want this to start looking used. This is from MAC's Nutcracker Suite collection, which was 2016 holiday. So basically a year ago. This is the Magic Dust powder, basically a blush, in the shade Sweet Vision. So this is a really beautiful kind of everyday sheer shimmery blush. It is pretty pigmented, so a little kind of does go a long way. That's a pretty heavy swatch, but I feel like I've had this a long time. I really love it. I wish I was using it more. It's pretty to look at, which is another bonus, and I just want it to start seeing some more love. Okay, next category of stuff is all the stuff that I want to hit pan on, not necessarily use up entirely. And I should say, I'm giving myself a few things that I know I'm going to either hit pan on or use up very quickly, because by the time I do my first update, which I will do one every quarter, I want to see some motivation. I don't want to come to you in April and say, oh my god, it's so daunting, I haven't hit pan on anything. You know, I want to be able to have a few things that I know I can use up pretty quickly. This is my Anastasia Dip Brow. This is in the shade Taupe. Last year I was using Ash Brown, and I did hit pan on that. It has significant pan, but then I went lighter and lighter with my hair, and I decided to go lighter with my brows. This is what it's looking like right now. So you could see there's not really any significant dip, but it does show usage. I use a lot of Anastasia brow pencils, some drugstore brow pencils, but I really have learned that I prefer the way my brows look with this pomade, and that's what I've used today. Sometimes I feel like brow pencils are kind of my lazy alternative because they're just a little bit easier and not as precise, you know? Okay, this bronzer here, this is the Becca, what is it called again? Sunlit bronzer. This is in the shade Baldy Sands. I can't even remember when I bought this, actually. I know it was in the later part of 2017. I've been using it in the more colder months where I'm not as tan, and I really love it. It's the bronzer I'm wearing today. I won't be able to use this in the summer months though. I want to use this up entirely. I'm thinking I will probably be able to hit pan by the summertime, and then I'll probably have to put it away for the whole summer, and hopefully I'll be able to use it up in the later part of this year, 2018. I can't believe it's 2018 already, oh my god. Last year's project had two highlighters in it. One was a mini I wanted to use up entirely, which I didn't quite do, and the other one was Becca Champagne Pop, which I wanted to hit pan on, and I did do probably about halfway through the year. So this year, what I've learned is I don't want to have to use two highlighters during the year. I want to just hit pan on one. This one is actually a favorite of mine. This is the Cover FX, what is it called again? The Perfect Light Highlighting Powder in Moonlight. This is the one I'm wearing today. It is, it's kind of a mixture between intense and natural looking. Like, I know that sounds really weird, but it still looks like your skin, but it's still pretty intense. Anyway, they don't make this particular one anymore. I think this has been discontinued, but they make it in a mini now. So if you want to get it, you definitely can. By the way, everything is always linked down below. So I just want to hit pan on this. There is a very slight dip. This is something I've used a lot. This is one of my favorite highlighters. I've used this a lot, but there still is not any pan showing. I feel like this pan is not really all that deep, so I should probably be able to hit pan on it definitely by halfway through the year, if not the first quarter. And by the way, I should say there's a possibility of me adding things to this project at different points through the year, which I did last year. Okay. Last year what I learned with blush is that it's very difficult to even hit pan on a blush, especially if it's a very pigmented blush. So this year I've decided to go with something that A, is definitely a favorite of mine, because that always helps, and B, something that goes with a lot of looks, and C, something that is not as pigmented as before. So I've decided to go with one of my absolute favorites. This is Tarte Exposed. So there's a swatch of it there. You can tell, like, it definitely builds up. I'm wearing it today. It definitely builds up. It's a beautiful matte blush that goes with so much, and it's so natural. But you could see how you'd be able to use this more than something that is super, super, super pigmented. So I don't think I'm going to use this up. It has usage on it. Like, you can see some of the design is worn away, but there's no dip at all. But I really would like to hit pan on this year. Okay, here's a product that is kind of old in my collection. This is the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Palette. I don't really use this as much as I should, and I really like it, but I don't have a lot of usage showing on it, and I just want it to look like it's something that is getting some use. I don't know if I'll be able to hit pan on one of the contour shades. If at all, I will be using this one. I did use it very lightly today. I don't love to contour intensely in my real life, like when I go out to work and stuff like that. I do contour more when I'm filming. So I don't know if I can hit pan on this, but if I do, it'll be a bonus. What I really want to do is use up this powder entirely and possibly this one. So ultimately, I would love to use this one up entirely and hit pan on this, maybe use this up, and maybe hit pan on that. Those are the goals for this palette. We'll see how I do. In my last Shop My Stash, I asked you guys for suggestions on what you think I should use for my palette that I want to hit pan on this year. And I should say this, I'm definitely not going to do a pan that palette. That's not what I do. What I just want to do is show some use. So I love my collection of palettes and eyeshadow, and I love to rotate them through, and I don't want to be stuck to one thing and get sick of it. So I haven't entirely decided what I want to do. What I know though is I want my MAC single shadows to get a lot more use than they have in the last year. They've barely been touched in the last year. So everything with the exception of this one right here is MAC shadows. I'm wearing this stuff on my eyes today. This shadow here is Anastasia's Sunset. It's a foil shadow. That is what's all over my lids. So I have kind of a mixture of these shades on my eyes today. I just want to hit pan for sure on, I think it's called Blanc Type. And I would like to hit pan on one of the neutral browns. I don't know which one. It doesn't matter to me. We'll just see what happens. And then I just want everything else to show more use. So kind of what I did last year with the Modern Renaissance palette was I really only wanted to hit pan on one shade. But then I took it further and further. I ended up hitting pan on 4 shades, and then I had a lot of use showing on the rest of them. So that's kind of what I want to do here. Definitely want to hit pan on this one. Definitely want to hit pan on one more, and then we'll see what else happens. I also like the idea of Sunset getting a lot more use, because this is an absolutely stunningly gorgeous foil eyeshadow. It's like liquid copper, and I've really only used this once, like before today. So I like that I put it in there, and maybe what I'll do is in this palette just switch out that single shadow every once in a while for something else, maybe a ColourPop, maybe a Makeup Geek. You know, I think that might be a fun idea. So last year I also hit pan on a basic shadow palette, which is the Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, which hit a ton of pan on one of the shades and showed a lot of use on 3 other ones. I kind of want to try that again with, like, I want to have 2 different palettes going, but I just don't know. Like, there was nothing that was calling to me that I knew I wouldn't get sick of, except for my NARS palettes. And I kind of was torn between using the new Wanted palette, which is more pink, and using this Loaded palette, which is more neutral and golds. And for now, I think I'm just going to try this and see what happens. The only issue with this is that they are so pigmented, and I just don't know how easy it's going to be to hit pan on anything in here. I'm going to just put it in this project for like the first 2 quarters and keep it in my drawer and see what happens. And if it turns out that I don't see any like major progress on it, I might just stick only to this, because I don't want to split my attention between 2 palettes in this project and then start neglecting everything else. You know, that doesn't do me any good. So we'll just see. I'm going to put both of these in for now. And if something happens where I get really tired of this one, I'll put it away. But this one for sure is staying in. Alright, everything else in this project is something that I want to use up in its entirety. And there's actually a lot of stuff here. Let's start with concealers. I knew for sure going into 2018 I want to use this up. This is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. I marked everything. This was sitting... It was sitting level the other day and I marked it here. You can see we're about halfway through this bottle. I would like to use up MAC products because then I can back to MAC them, and I really do love this concealer. It's got a beautiful natural finish. It's kind of a medium to full coverage, not fully full coverage, but it's decent enough where I can use it as kind of a natural concealer on the daily, and I know I can use that up. The other one is this YSL All Hours Concealer. I love this. I love this so much. This is the concealer I'm wearing today. It's got a gorgeous finish. Neither of these crease. Like, they're just perfection, really. But this one is very much like one of my other holy grails, which is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. And since I have both, I definitely need to use one up because they're very similar. Even the packaging is identical. So you can see this is the Estee Lauder, this is the YSL, even the packaging is absolutely identical. So I need to get rid of one of them, so I'm going to use this one up because I really love it. I've got 3 foundations and I'll tell you the plan on these. So first of all, this is the Lancome Tint Miracle Foundation. I've used it up completely halfway. This is the oldest foundation in my collection and I really want to use it up before it goes bad. I love this. This says right on the bottle, lit from within makeup, natural skin effect, and that's exactly what it is. Except with my oily skin, it really only is good for me in the winter months. So I want to use this up before my first quarter update. That will definitely be a priority. This one here is the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. Now I did mark it, but it's really, really hard to see because that Sharpie there is the same color as the bottle, or the, I don't even know, the stick. Mine is in the shade Shell. This should be easy to use up because it's a cream foundation. There's not even a full ounce in here, and the amount that you use every time you use it, it goes pretty quickly. I really like this. I want to get my money's worth out of it. I will probably at the end even dig it out from the bottom, and I really like the finish of this, but again, this is a winter for oily skin foundation where it's definitely more hydrating. Now this one is going to be definitely more in the summer, so I'm not even intending on having an update on this one in my April update, except I did wear it today. I don't know. I should have worn one of those today. Anyway, this is the Lancome Tint Idol Ultra 24-Hour Makeup. This is definitely mattifying, very full coverage, very good for oily skin. This one I can't see through the frosted glass, so I don't really know where I am, except earlier today there was like some glass showing through around this area here. So I think I'm definitely at least like 2/3, or I'm 1/3 done and there's 2/3 left, so. Alright, primers. So this one here, this is the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. This is completely full. I just bought this recently. However, this primer has a 6-month expiry date on it. You know, that little box that shows you how many months from when you open it. So I want to get this used up again in the winter months. I can't use this in the summer, so by the time June rolls around, this needs to be completely used up. It's wonderful. It feels so good on the skin. It's very nourishing. It feels great and makes your skin just feel really hydrated. So that one's great. This one here is the NARS Smooth and Protect Primer. I did squeeze it kind of down and I've marked it here. You can see that's how much I've used. This has SPF 50 in it, which is a reason I love it, and it really fills in pores really well. This is not really a mattifying primer, but it definitely fills in pores. So I have no problem using this in conjunction with a mattifying primer. It kind of works well with other things. So I think I should be able to use this up by the end of the year. Now, this I've already had for quite a few months, probably 6 months, and I've only used up that much, but then again, you know, I haven't been focusing on it. I've been rotating it in and out with other pore filling primers. So I'm thinking probably by 3/4 through the year, hopefully it can get used up. We'll see. And this product is going to go bad in April. It has an expiry date on it, so I really want to use it up. This is the Lancome Benefant UV SPF 50. And that's where I've marked it there. This is very liquidy. It works very well under makeup, which is always a concern for me because I always find sometimes SPF can make makeup ball up, but I'm wearing it today and no problems, and I've never had problems with it. It's very, very, very liquidy. So by April, this better be done because it's going to expire if it's not. I've got 3 different powders. Now I know for sure this one is going to be super easy. This is the NYX Stay Matte But Not Flat Powder Foundation. Love this for oily skin. And as you can see, there's already a ton of pan showing on this. Once you hit pan on this, it goes fast. It takes a while to hit pan, but once you're there, it goes super, super, super duper fast. This one is the Clinique Super Powder Double Face Makeup in Matte Beige. So this one here definitely has a lot of use on it. I haven't yet hit pan on it, but it definitely has use. I've been using this for months now. Really love it. I think it's really good. This is kind of the drugstore alternative to this. This has a little bit more coverage in it, though, I would say. So I know I can definitely get through both of these by the end of the year. I use powder every time I wear makeup, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now this one here, I was kind of skeptical if I should put this in because it's not my favorite loose powder, but I do want to use it up. This is the Kat Von D Lock It Translucent Setting Powder. Now I can't mark this because it's kind of sticking up at the top. You could see though, like a lot is been used out of here, but then again, when I open it up, I don't know what I did here. Like there's so much sitting on top. So this is the powder I'm using today under my eye. It's not my favorite. Like I would definitely say Laura Mercier is my favorite, but it's very similar. It's just not quite as soft and smooth. It's still soft and smooth, just not as much as Laura Mercier. And I'm figuring using this as my baking powder, but then once I get through these, I can also use this all over my face as well, and I have before, and it works really, really fine. So I think getting through this year should be okay. Let's take a little detour to fragrance and then we'll hop back and finish with makeup again. So last year I did use up quite a few fragrances. If you know me, you know I bought a ton of new perfumes this year, and so I want to get some older ones out, including definitely smaller ones. So I've got 3 little minis here. These are not rollerballs, these are sprayers. These are from a gift set from the Arian Grande gift set. So this is a limited edition one. This one is Sweet Like Candy, and this one is the original Ari fragrance. I've marked them all. This one is the lowest for sure. This one's up to here, and then this one is up to here. And actually I marked them on January 1st, but I've used them a few times since then, so they're a little bit lower. These shouldn't be a problem for me. I can definitely use them up because these you can use a ton of. Like, it's not like one spray lasts all day with these. You really need to kind of reapply them. And same with this one, which is why I think I can use it up. This is the Diesel Loverdose Red Kiss. And I've marked it there. The bottle's so pretty. I love the heart shape. It actually sits on its side. No, this way. It sits on its side when it's on your shelf. So gorgeous. But again, this one, you can spray this multiple times during the day. So it shouldn't be hard to get through. All of these fragrances are very, very sweet, but kind of light sweetness. So they're fine to like reapply and use a lot of, and I think I can get through them. And then this one is not a favorite of mine, but I've started using it as a room spray, and that's how I want to use it up. This is the Sol de Janeiro Brazilian Crush Body Fragrance Mist. So you know the Brazilian Boom Boom Cream, how everybody talks about how great it smells, and it does smell amazing. This one is supposed to be the actual fragrance counterpart, but it doesn't smell exactly the same. It harkens back to that scent, but it doesn't smell exactly the same, and so I don't really love it. That's what the actual sprayer looks like. So I've been using it as a room spray. Here's where we are. And so I don't think there will be any issue in using that up. Okay, this one is going to be a challenge. And actually I think a few of these next ones will be challenging. This is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector liquid in Opal. This is one of the oldest things, again, in my collection. I used to mix this in with my foundations every single day and then wondered why my face was getting so oily. Because this is definitely like, this is a liquid highlighter. And if you want to remain looking matte throughout the entire day, it's not really the best thing to mix in with your foundation because it's going to make you look intensely dewy. And I still like that look. Like some days it looks beautiful. And you can also use this as a targeted highlight. So what I've done today is I put this on over top my foundation but underneath my powder. I still need to powder my foundation. So I can't really put this on top of powder. Putting powder on top of it kind of mutes it quite a bit. I know maybe this is too much information, but anyway, that's why I never really use it. But as you can see, this is where we are. I squeezed it down the other day just to see. And I'm hoping that I can use this up throughout the year. This is the kind of thing I don't use a lot of, but again, it's so old that I want to use it up. So all the rest of this is makeup. This is the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Skin Mist. Here's where we are. I haven't used a ton of this. This is actually my Bought It Forgot It right now, which is why I decided to pull it in because I really do like it. This is MAC Painterly. Remember how I said that I know there are things that I will use anyway? This is definitely one of them. It's the only makeup like eyeshadow primer that I really use unless I am specifically doing an all drugstore look. This is what I use every day, and you can see there's already a decent dip going in. I used up one of these last year, so I know I can definitely use this up this year. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil in Naked 2. So what I have on my lips today is this all underneath, and then I put like a glossy thing on top. That's what it looks like. It's just a nude liner that can go with so much. Again, an older product to me, so I want to use it up. And what I have on top of it is NARS Velvet Lip Glide in Playpen. So I love these lip glides. They are like liquid lipsticks, but they're more of kind of a gel formula gloss. They don't dry down completely. They start out a little bit more shiny, and kind of within, I would say, an hour, the shine kind of goes away a little bit. And what you are left with is just more pigment. Like, it still has a little bit of longevity. It doesn't completely go away unless you're eating or drinking. So it lasts a decent amount of time, but you definitely need to reapply it. And since I have a few of these now, and I have 2 nude shades, this one and one other, I want to get a lot of use out of them. So this one, I've never panned a lip gloss or lip product or something that has a doe foot applicator before. I've never done that. So I would like to just use this all year and see how far I get. I think I can probably use it up, but that could be a challenge. Now this one won't be a challenge because it's my favorite all-time lipstick. This is the second one I've purchased. I've panned an entire one before that wasn't even in a project. This is Too Faced La Creme Lipstick in Spice Spice Baby. That's with it rolled all the way down, so you can see just how much use is on this, and that's not even being in a project. That's just from using it because I love it. That's a swatch of it there. This is just the ultimate perfect Your Lips But Better shade on me. The last time I talked about this, I tried finding a link for it, and I don't even know if they make it anymore. Like, I know they still make these La Creme lipsticks, but they've gotten rid, it seems like, of a lot of shades. So I don't even know if I'll be able to replace it after this, which would suck because I love it so much. But I know I'm going to use it anyway, so it's a good one to put in this project. The next thing I want to use up is another MAC lipstick. I used an entire one up last year, and again, because of Back to MAC, I would like to do that this year. This one is MAC Syrup. As you can see, I already have a lot of good usage on it, and again, this is a really good, just kind of slap it on when you're out. You don't need any precision kind of color. And are we at the end? This is the very last product. So this is a mini lipstick. I figured I could probably get through an entire mini this year, and this is totally full. And by the way, all these lip products that need to be measured, I've already written down in a notebook. This is from Bare Minerals. This is from their Gen Nude collection, and this is in the shade Kitty. So there it is right there. Just a really, again, nice nude that is super easy to wear. So there you go, you guys. That is everything that I'm planning on using for 2018. I wanted to mix it up with some easy stuff and some challenging stuff, so I really hope that I've done that. I will do updates in April, June, October, and then the finale at the end of the year, just like I did last year. So every quarter, I feel like that is a really good schedule to stick to. And like I said, I still will be doing my Shop My Stash videos, but I had so much success last year. I am very motivated and very excited about this project. If you're new to my channel because you saw a project pan, just know that I am not a project panner, but I have lots of other fun content on this channel. I put up videos 3 days a week, every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And if you're a subscriber who's been here for a long time, thank you so much for your continuing support. I really appreciate all your encouragement. So that's it for today. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. I hope that you're speaking kindly to yourself. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.